Welcome to the new series, Obscure Skills Made Playable. So we're gonna start this off with one of the least played skills on PoE Ninja, which is Galvanic Arrow of Energy. Now, it doesn't have much going for it, but I still managed to make it work somewhat. It's not the best build out there, but you know, could be definitely worse. So far, it's a little bit squishy, but for the investment that I have put into this build, it's not that bad. And we're gonna just show it off real quick. I'm gonna start off with a tier 16 as usual. Good enough. So it is a bow skill, but as you can see, we're not playing ranger. There's a couple of reasons for that. But first, let's see how it looks, how it feels, and then we'll go over the tree. So as you can, this map also has less area of effect, but the AoE on the skill is actually fairly good. It's like around 5 meters. Now, there is one downside to this build, specifically how I made it, is that although it is a totem build, I can't just place them and run away instantly, because I do have the Rihanna's prototype, which means I have to stay nearby. Sadly. But as you can see, you know, damage is not that bad. And currently my gems are not completely level 20. Not all of them at the very least, especially the auras. Clarity I'm gonna keep at 10 because I am using life to have clarity. And as you can see, we're already pretty low on life, but everything will be clear soon enough. I'll show you why it's not that big of a deal, but I do wish this build was a little bit more tanky. Because so far, if there's any chaos damage at all, we're just dead. Instantly. Like these guys. These guys hit me with the basic attack, I'm dead. Oh, I also forgot to keep shooting myself, because we do generate frenzy charges as well as power charges, which of course increase our damage. And once we are ramped, you can call it a ramp, it doesn't take long, a couple of attacks. The damage is fine. So as you can see, you know, running at tier 16, if you play it a little bit safer, if you're not face tanking anything, letting the totems soak up the damage for you and just staying a little bit behind, it's good, it's fine. Right, it's playable, perfectly playable. Now I'm gonna show you a boss on Ether, because I've got a bunch still left. And you'll see the damage that you can expect. I'll go over the gear after this. And you can decide if this is good enough to be played, even though nobody plays this. Need to shoot ourselves a little bit as well. And I do need to stay close for the Rihanna. Perfect time to stack up charges. Stop it. So, there you go. You know, still need to move around. We aren't tank at all, but with the normal non-Uber versions of the bosses, you're fine. So, let's go over the tree. We are an Inquisitor. It's got a couple of things going for it, so this kind of synergizes with Doriani, right? Because nearby, just like Doriani. This is the only way I could figure out how to sustain myself in any way. Combine, well, this is just crit, right? So it's always good. Combined with this and Petrified Blood, we are regenerating, well, basically 30% of our total pool every second. We have around 500 regen, if I'm not mistaken. 670. We have 670 regen, so around 30% of our HP and energy shield we are regenerating every second. And ideally, you do want to get 40% more energy shield than you have life. I don't really see a way how to, however, because I am using the suppression gear, because I can't get max res as easy, and suppression was just much easier to get, so I went to that. But this is basically your only source of sustain. Mana is clarity. I was initially playing without clarity, but it was very bad. You can, however, if you want to use a potion, but it's another button, right? And also, you don't have to have mark on it, because realistically, it's only going to be against bosses. You're not going to be bothering too much with rares, and this does amount to more damage, right? Because there's no reduced effect. But when it comes to the tree, just a bunch of life, because life is converted to energy shield as well for us. Bunch of life, bunch of totem nodes. Of course, the onslaught totem node, as well as some attack and cast speed, because we are using Wilma, which means that we are getting double benefit from this node, right? Yeah, more totems, so we have a total of 7 totems, and some crit nodes as well. Third of Hope, I looked for minus 20 Ellie res on purpose, so we can get Doriani a little bit more valuable, right? You can use melding if you want to, but it was just too hard to figure out the resistances, because already you kind of have to, well, if you are using melding, so you're probably not going to be using a negative resist ring, so maybe it's fine that way, but I did want to make sure that I have at least one regen item. In this case I managed to get 2. I lucked out, this ring has regen, and I have 2 regen items, so the sustain of our health pool is pretty good. We have some suppress chance on here. Both of these items have to have suppress, otherwise we're not going to be able to cap it, unless you want to spend some more points over here. But currently I am very down bad on points. I wish I could have more. But yeah, this whole area is kind of a standard Deadeye pathing, right? And these nodes on PUB are actually quite good. Initially I had these, but turns out these nodes give me just as much armor, albeit a little bit less, well, no regen. But they give me a little bit more armor, as well as around 10% actually DPS as well. Maybe not 10, maybe like 8. So I switched to these, which made sense, of course. Yeah, this is the tree. So for the items, Wilma, Doriani, Rislatha, because we are lightning, and then volatility, of course, since we already have Rislatha. And we are forced into full lightning, right, with Doriani. The res on this build is very tight. I was actually lucky to exalt the cold on here. Well, it was initial lightning, so I swapped it with the harvest, but the res is really tight. I quality this one, of course, as well. But, you know, unless you don't want to have extra regen, you're going to have to sacrifice something. Chaos, we have 34. Not great, but Chaos kills us regardless, since we don't have 30% doesn't bypass Chaos from here. It's very too far to go over here. I initially was trying to fit it in somehow, but wasn't really able to. But yeah, Chaos damage just basically insta kills us. So yeah, this is the build. Now I'll show you guys a tier 17. It's not gonna go well. I tried one, and it was Fortress. I got to the boss and was basically just insta-killed by every single attack. So I imagine it's just not possible with this specific build, albeit I only spent 30 divines on this build. So you can probably improve it a little bit somehow, I don't know. But for 30 divines, this does reasonably well. For a skill that doesn't really have much going for it, it's okay. It is a pretty cool looking spell though. Well, I mean, Galvanic Arrow was always cool, but nobody's playing this, and it does have better scaling, more AoE, right? And the AoE is actually pretty big. If you see where the lightning goes, it's like half the screen. It's not bad. Definitely not bad. So let's try running one of these. Well, maybe not this specific one. Less recovery is not good. Reflect, the totems will kill themselves. Our totems are really squishy as is. Nah, we can try running this. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to kill the boss anyway, so might as well, right? Just to show you kinda how it feels in a tier 17. Of course, it is the effect. Well, sort of. This is more of a quant. This is more of a harvestry, but it does have effect mods as well, right? So you do kind of have to play really passive in here, which is a little bit sad because zero chance. These mobs. So as you can see, there's a lot of walking around. Not a big fan, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? The damage is fine for the mapping part. It's just that the defenses are lacking. Whoop! These guys, they explode insta-kill. Don't forget to shoot a little bit to stack up those charges. Oh my god, they're coming in from all directions. And the worst part is actually that you have to stay close for the Doriani to take effect. Especially in these maps where just staying close can mean instantly dying. So, you know, there is definitely some downsides to this, but Doriani was the only way how I could figure out how to scale damage. Because there's no projectiles on this skill, this isn't even a projectile skill. So even the, for example, lethality, notable, which is very strong generally on pretty much every bow build, it doesn't work, sadly. So, so far we're not doing too bad, but I imagine I will die soon enough, so I'll place a portal. And they also have endurance charges. With one more level, or maybe getting rid of something, you could... Hey, we didn't get insta-kill, pretty cool. You could also get Totem's Taunt, which could help a little bit, even though the totem placement range isn't that long. But could help a little bit. Now, luckily there's no mobs that charge at you. Generally, for example, like Roas, pretty bad. You do have to sidestep pretty much everything because the physical resist on this build is almost non-existent. I have like 20k armor or something, which is, you know, it's not the best. Considering there's no other um, sources of damage reduction. Now, you can watch me waste all 6 portals over here. Oh my god. I am surprised it's actually going this well. I am very surprised. Because the fortress guy insta-killed me, so I just assumed that everything would... Actually, that fortress map was like plus 200 as extra, so maybe that's why, but... You know, it's still not peachy. Like, I do have to try pretty hard to dodge everything, and I just spammed a lot of bots. I'm dead. Okay, I survived somehow. I need... Stop teleporting. This guy is very annoying. So the degens, they're not that bad because we do have a lot of regen, but still. Ooh, yeah. This guy shoots a lot of projectiles. Honestly, not doing that bad. I was hoping, I mean, I was expecting it to go much worse. Ah, I thought I moved, so she was gonna teleport again, but she didn't. In case any of you don't know how her slam works, basically she teleports around until you stop. Once you stop, she also stops. We actually did it. Build good. Well, it's not good, but it's okay. It is okay. For 30 divines, not that bad. So there you go, guys. So, some closing statements. This will be a part of a new series. If you listen to the beginning, right, you know this. But this will be a part of a new series where I take some of the unpopular skills from PvE Ninja. Ideally from the very bottom, but there's a bunch of skills like Protected Link, for example, that aren't really usable as a main skill, right? There's also a bunch of item given skills. I don't really want to do those either, but I'm gonna try getting as many of the bottom skills in as possible. Hopefully you guys like this type of thing. Hopefully some of you will try out these off-meta builds and, you know, have fun with them. Not every day you get to play something that's not Lightning Arrow, right? Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.